The fuel system in the A340-600 has been redesigned. Let's start with the basic description. Only differences with the A340-300 will be highlighted. Each previous inner tank is now divided into two tanks. The inner tanks 1 and 2 in the left wing, the inner tanks 3 and 4 in the right wing. The total fuel capacity of the A340-600 is increased by approximately 30%. Each inner tank has a fuel collector box which contains two pumps, main plus standby. Each main fuel pump feeds its respective engine. The inner tanks 2 and 3 are divided into two parts via a transfer control valve, the split valve in the A340-300. The transfer control valve connects the forward inner 2-3 section to a jet pump to transfer the fuel of the aft section to the forward section. A check valve automatically prevents flow from the forward to the aft section when the contents of the inner tanks are low. Forward transfers are carried out using two additional trim transfer pumps. Fuel is transferred from trim tank to center tank or from trim tank to inner tanks. Aft transfers are carried out using 6 additional aft transfer pumps, 2 in the center tank to transfer fuel from the center tank to the trim tank, and 1 in each inner tank to transfer fuel from inner tanks to the trim tank. Note, the pumps used for aft transfers are also used for jettison and refuel defuel. You can notice that the center tank also contains the 2 fuel pumps to transfer fuel from the center to the inner tanks. 2 transfer valves and 2 inlet valves allow fuel to be transferred from the outer to the inner tanks by gravity. To summarize, we can observe that the system is composed of 2 subsystems. The upper part, which is used for engine feed, the lower part, which is used for tank fuel transfer, control of center of gravity, refuel, defuel, and jettison. Compared to the A340-300, the fuel feed sequence is not very different. Center tank empties first, trim tank is used for center of gravity control, outer tanks empty last. However, the jettison and the refuel-defuel rates have been improved and fuel lines are now segregated. Let's now compare the ECAM fuel page. Collector boxes in the inner tanks are not represented. Cell quantities have been removed in normal operation only. Each tank has its own temperature sensor. A new parameter is displayed: all engine fuel flow. The 2 trim tank transfer pumps are displayed. The aft transfer pumps are displayed. A separate line delivers the fuel to the APU. Fuel to the APU is fed either by the main pump 1 or by the APU pump. Consequently, the APU indication is relocated on the ECAM fuel page. The only difference observed in the APU system between the 2 aircraft is the APU fuel used indication on the APU ECAM page. It is calculated by the electronic control box. Let's have a look at this display. If no data is computed, the display corresponds to the last computed data and is crossed by two amber dashes. Now let's have a look at the overhead fuel panel. There are 4 additional push buttons for manual inner tank to trim tank transfer. 2 additional push buttons for manual center tank to trim tank transfer. The manual forward trim tank transfer push button switch has been renamed. Left and right push buttons have been added for manual control of the left and right trim tank pumps used during the forward transfer. The manual outer tank to inner tank transfer push button switch has been relocated.